Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
All right, well, we're rolling.
Okay.
The desert wins that take, but hopefully get one in there.
Just for everybody at home, I have cockleberries in my hand, so that'll add a little spiciness to my rhythm playing.
Put a little pep in your tempo there. Take 5?
I think so. Update, Tony now also has cockleberries in her hands.
Every take that we do, I think there's a little bit more of the desert inside of us.
The desert wants to kill us. Let us play some music, desert.
Good morning, grasshoppers. Getting in a little late. The grandson was very demanding last night. But he is a dream and a doll. He's brilliant, smart, handsome. What more can you ask for? Jane Bond. We actually pick up some followers in the last 24 hours because of the pseudo 24-hour stream. The last stream was accidentally about 12 hours because I failed to hit the stop stream button, which flagged a few other streamers playing real music in the background. Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears. There's a regular jettison, as that is unviewable on YouTube now, thanks to me not hitting the stop stream button when I left yesterday. I was in a hurry. We have to be out of here before 6 a.m. in order to be on time for school, which we will do. So we're going to get these games in as quickly as possible. With 31 players, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to finish before 6. I may have to miss the last round, but we're going to do what we can to get our daily training in for at least 3 games. And do what we can to get on the first page. See how life is going with Ron Hay on the first page. Ron won his first game. If he wins this game, or I should say when he wins this game, as it turns out.
Oh, is that your... Oh.
Let's bear down, Ron. There we go.
Okay. This is my cockleberry hand.
I didn't think you'd forget.
No.
Ooh.
There's no forgetting that. Happy Sunday morning, guys.
This is Maiden 2.
We will see you next week. That was a great take.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Well, maybe not Maiden 2. Is it Maiden 2? It's certainly the win of a ruck, followed by mate. Rook to f3 will be mate. So Ron is in pole position for the podium at the end of the day in the daily training. We do have weekend training as well, starting a couple of hours later than a few hours later than now. It's always possible to put in a bid for the French Bishop chess cast, which we are attempting to get another episode off the ground this week. Let's put this in the YouTube as well. And those are all the links. Whether you listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Stitcher. I think Castbox is ending, or Stitcher is ending. I'm trying to recall which one is which. Which one is actually ending. We'll replace that with another link when we get a chance. That's the maximum amount that I'm actually able to share in a command. YSSR is on a little bit of a losing streak over here. His performance rating is 1709 though, so he's been playing 4 very good players. Hopefully he's still with us. He is still with us. He did score a draw against me at some point recently. And the draw was scored on Huang Gri's birthday. Twitch streamer I am Huang Gri. We played on Feingold's birthday, Berge Orenstad's birthday, and of course we're scheduled today. So let's drop him a message. Just to let him know that his game is up, in case he's reviewing his game. Usually, as I am, reviewing games is the best way to do it. We have a great community of regular players. Mariya Muzychuk did have to climb over her sisters, and her sister had to climb over her recently in the World Cup, as they are two very brilliant chess players. Ah, YSSR is here. Good morning, sir. We'll try to... Well, Chess Divas by Yuga is probably copyrighted. We're going to skip that one. I need to remove the Huga so that I don't get a YouTube streaming copyright. Let our opponent prepare. Was he going to play f4 against... With f4 in, he does have an automatic anchor against f5. There's no reason for me to limit my bishop's movements. I think our opponent's already committed to a certain extent. To attacking us. That's interesting. So far, so good as far as putting pressure on this. Unfortunately, I'm not contributing. I am, or fortunately, I am contributing to his performance rating, but I'm going to bring him down a notch, unfortunately, about to 1708, probably. So he's still performing higher than he'd planned on. Let's keep up the pressure. His king is unable to castle. And of course, as every young player will discover, their rooks don't leave. If you don't, so let's do a quick review here. Don't move the same piece twice. Develop your two center pawns. Bring your knights out. Get your king safe as quickly as possible. And you will not experience any danger in chess if you bring your pieces out. Unfortunately, if you leave your rooks on their original squares, you're spotting your opponent 10 points of material. He moved the same piece not only twice, but 3 times. And of course, you might think this is worth it for castling, to prevent castling, but if you have no attackers, then it's not probable that you should ever give up material. In fact, after a sacrifice, you have to have 2 extra attackers in order to make the sacrifice work minimum. This is not the case in many positions, though. You might need more than 2 attackers in order to deliver out a successful attack past the sacrifice piece. Then your opponent has defenders. So it's not recommended that you give up material. Ayuna Yaroshina. And of course, Voice Avenue is my cover music of choice for almost every great song that you should ever want to listen to.
Should I be feeling guilty or
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll observe Ron Hay again, or we can give someone else a nod. Let's see if we have someone else regular to the dojo that we have seen. Peruhar. It's a little short on time. I would probably tuck my king away rather than give away a knight for a pawn. Was that necessary? I don't think it was necessary yet. Yeah, maybe it was necessary. It's unfortunate. But now that we're down material, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble, to quote Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, and there are more rooks to come where that one came from. Run for it. Because the king was on f1, rook to c1 was probably more efficient on the previous move. And then we have Glasscop. I've only played it once before from Austria. Glasscop has a nice position here with one very serious pass pawn and another in the making. How is he going to make progress here? C6 did not seem so useful, but he can bother the bishop. That much is true. And now how is the pawn going to be stopped? The pawn had to be blockaded by the bishop on the previous turn. Brankolar, he and I have battled 8 times, and he has the better of me. From Slovenia. Brankolar is a very tough opponent. In this particular position, he's suffering a little bit to Andy J. If this pawn were not on the board, he may actually be able to entertain some drawing options. But he does have to get that pawn off the board. I don't know if that was the right move. I think I would have probably put the rook right behind the passed pawn immediately. Because now, unfortunately, this pawn is going to be promoted. Rook up, pawn push, rook check, takes, queen. So, he's going for it. Now you have to at least threaten mate. That is not a threat, Brankolar. Did Ron succeed? Ron did succeed in his quest. Let's keep an eye on our time. We have 22 minutes left before needing to run out the door. We're about 19 d4s behind in our quest for... Now the standard operation here is to grab the center. We don't need c4 anymore in this old Benoni. We'll secure ourselves. You know, that pawn was hanging. I hallucinated that I always had Queen A4 check. Believe it or not, I just hallucinated that I always had E4. Is that crazy or what? Am I losing a pawn? I don't know. I do not know if I'm losing a pawn, but it has turned into a very creative game. He has a discovery on my knight. And I need to get my king out of the center. But I also would like to put a A knight on the c6 square. Let's give the pawn back. Oh, I'm having trouble developing my pizzas. Is this going to involve a sacrifice? Egats. It does look like it's going to involve a little bit of a sacrifice. Takes. Alright, a small sacrifice. We're in some serious trouble here. Can I castle? Can I sack a piece? I'll be up 2 pawns. No, 1 pawn only. This is no good. NG, ladies and gentlemen. NG. All this in an effort to get castled. By the way. This is all a massive effort to get castled. I am overworked. Whoops. And I thought my king was going to be in the center, but it's worse. It's far worse. Interestingly enough, I'm not after that bishop. I'm after an open file. I have no future here. I'm down 2 pawns on both sides of the board. Can I keep him busy? I can try. I can try to keep him busy. And now, what can I do? Can I get a rook behind that pawn? Is it going to help at all? Wow, he didn't even try to hang on to the pawn. But he will get a pin out of the deal, it appears. He did have rook to the 2nd rank, and I was devastated across the 7th rank. The 2nd rank being my 7th rank, his 7th rank, away from him. He can still try for it. And can I? I have to try to draw this. I don't have much of a choice, unfortunately. I do not have much of a choice. Probably rook takes b3 was better. But we will see. He's getting to that square. I'm very weak. I am very, very, very weak, unfortunately. We have no choice but to limit his movements as best we can. Is this worth it? Should I have secured my third rank with my rook first? Probably.
Pegasus Sway
said, "Hi, I see there are 3 live broadcasts from this tournament."
3 live broadcasts. Is Kian Chess also streaming? That is quite incredible. I have to remember that I'm low on time now. We're in ultra fast mode. Reaction for reaction time. Can I? I don't have much of a choice. Alright, well, we are getting more pawns off the board. That is our goal. Takes. That's mate. Oh no. If I'm not careful, it's mate. It's a free ride. Yeah. Good work, sir. Let's see what I did wrong. I really went all out for a stalemating combination that went awry, and I keep hanging my pawn on e4. This was a really ridiculous moment for me. I should have given back the pawn in that manner. To actually think that I could get my king safe in this position, I violated all of my own rules. I moved the same pieces twice. It was probably just as well that I attacked this pawn and give that one up. But I chose to exchange this pawn. I think I'm okay here. Okay being clearly worse. It does like knight e5, bishop to b7, and I should just continue my development as rapidly as I can and give up on the center. Knight takes, d5, bishop f3. That's a fascinating way to defend the knight on e5. I like it. Let's look at that continuation briefly. By attacking this knight, we defend that knight. So if knight takes c3, we have to throw in queen takes d8 first. And after rook takes d8, bishop takes b7, his rook is somewhat trapped. But he gets this knight, I get the rook, he gets pressure on this pawn, and I am in some serious trouble as usual. At least this knight is limited in movement, so I'm doing very okay here. Returning to our game, we're playing the official Jan Hammer. Might have spelled that a little differently myself. And he's performing pretty well. Let's see the whole picture here. The official Jan Hammer has won 3 out of his last 4 games for an 1866 performance rating. Are we playing a Grunfeld? No. I highly recommend the Grunfeld over the... We're going with the 4 pawns attack against the King's Indian. When I was at that rating level, in the 1800s, I was never a 1700 player, unfortunately. I went from 1620 to 18 something. I went from 1675 to 1820. The next rating report that I saw, back in the day when the rating reports had to be emailed to you. This is a fascinating move. We're going to risk our dark squared bishop. Now we have a safe square for our dark squared bishop. This is all standard. So we should fix his pawn on e5. And grab the space. Use our bind on this side of the board. Ironically, he does have the d4 square for his knight, because after bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, he gets his pawn back with knight takes e4, queen takes e4, and rook to e8. So I can't take the knight on d4. Had he moved his pawn, his knight to d4, I would not have been able to. I would not have been able to withstand a little bit of that pressure. Now he has to choose how he's going to proceed, and he's going to go for f5. I don't have any means to stop f5, but I can go for some counterplay on the queen side. And now I have to choose whether or not I want the d5 square, or if I want to bother his knights in this manner. If I do bother his knights in this manner, this bishop is going to feel the pressure a little bit. Let's get out of danger on the long diagonal just in case. This way we have a nice square to push our bishop to. I think we are winning material now. b7 pawn, a6, the knight can't be moved. Should I take the free material? I don't see any reason not to. If I want these pawns to be moving at all. Our opponent has gotten a wee bit distracted on that side of the board. We now have good squares for our knight. We have two passed pawns very close to the 6th rank. I'm not at all worried about that part of the deal, to tell you the truth. He is going for it. However, he has no attack on the king side without a white squared bishop. He's now realizing he doesn't have g5 without losing his h5 pawn, so he has to bring the knight across first. And if he does bring the knight across first, we are going to challenge the knight. Do I want to take that? Nah, I don't want to further his attack in any way. Is he going for the barbaric queen h4? Seems reasonable. I could get mated here. That much is true. knight. Knight takes bishop. Queen d5. Where is his queen going to go? Yeah, well, we do have this check in case the king takes, so the queen will have to take on g7. The queen will have to take on g7. I have to remember I only have 9 seconds. Let's move immediately. Now the rook's not guarded. So what could he have done in that position? He had to play queen to f7, queen takes g7, and then start shoving his pawns the old-fashioned way. King's Indian attack, 4 pawns variation, should be met by c5, either on the 5th or 6th move at the very least. I'm still on page 2. Ye gods, this is a tough tournament. And unfortunately, that was my 5th game, and I do have to run. I thought we had three live streams. We'll cover Ron Hay for a little bit as he is going to succeed in winning this tournament. I'm not going to make it to the first page without playing another game, and it isn't happening. Let's just take the pawn. Oh, he went for the X-ray defense. Pawn can't be defended. Nicely done, Ron. We have shelter on h4. And we are going in. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Hay. Massive supporter of the stream. We're going to send everyone over to the Well-Heeled King, who's going to finish this tournament for us as we run to the train. Make sure that my train is on schedule. I have 10 minutes to get to the train station. Indeed. Thank you, everyone. Let's roll those ending credits. Please enjoy the Well-Heeled King as he finishes our tournament for us in round 6. And he may run a rapid arena immediately after this.